Good evening. You're watching Speak Out India with me, Gauri Dwivedi. Now, A.R. Rahman, the Mozart of Madras, has given a befitting reply to all those Wembley walkouts who exactly 3 months back, in fact, felt the maestro did not do justice to their concert tickets as he played too many Tamil songs. On 8th of July 2017 at Wembley, there was a huge ruckus that was created because a lot of his fans, a lot of A.R. Rahman's fans felt that he played too many Tamil songs and ignored the Hindi-speaking audience. This time around, on 20th and 21st of October, A.R. Rahman will have 2 concerts in Canada, one exclusively for Tamil audience and one for the Hindi audience, on the very unfortunate premise that the 2 audiences for these 2 shows will be mutually exclusive. On Speak Out India, we ask that now that the music genius has been, of course, able to shut his trolls once and for all, but what does it speak about the universal power of music, which is meant to unite us, which is meant to bind us and not to divide us? And is it fair for somebody who's globally recognized as an icon of not Tamil music, not Hindi music, of music, to be regionally bound like this in his identities as some of these fans are doing? Is it fair to A.R. Rahman? Those questions. But first up, let's listen in to A.R. Rahman's fight.
You're coming with 2 shows, a Tamil show and a Hindi show. It's all about the music.
All right, let's quickly get in a crowd report that has been filed by my colleague Lokpriya from Chennai.
It might be just for the love of music, but music maestro A.R. Rahman wants to be very clear and avoid any kind of embarrassment and repeat of the July encounter. For his upcoming concert in Canada, the playlist has clearly been divided into Hindi and Tamil, forcing the superstar to have 2 different concerts in 2 different languages. And what more, in the promo video, A.R. Rahman even takes a jibe at the viewers, saying that the Tamil concert is for Hindi viewers and the Hindi concert is for Tamil viewers.
We have a sound reaction. We have a reaction coming in on this decision that has been taken by A.R. Rahman. First that reaction, and then we take the story forward.
I don't look at the whole thing as a major issue. If at all it is, there is a simple fact lying underneath, because all of India is concerned. A.R. Rahman is one pan-India composer. Next time you organize a concert again in the same place in UK, saying this is going to be a multilingual concert, same crowd come, they will not be disappointed, because they know they have to expect songs from various languages of India. So as simple as that.
All right, our calling lines are open. The numbers are flashing on our screens right now. Call us. Speak Out India. What do you think about the latest move by A.R. Rahman to, of course, shut trolls? And is it time for trolls to rise up for One India? Those are the questions we are, in fact, raising on Speak Out India. And joining me on this debate is my colleague Lata Srinivasan, who's joining us from Chennai on Skype. Also with me here in the studio is Murtaza Ali and in fact, Gautam Kaul. My first question, in fact, goes out to Lata. Lata, we all remember what happened on 8th of July. I still remember some of the tweets that came out trolling A.R. Rahman. Very unfortunate sequence of events that happened after that Wembley concert. He has preempted that entire sequence happening this time around, and instead he has assumed, extremely unfortunately, that the audiences are mutually exclusive. How unfortunate is that?
It's very unfortunate in many ways, but I think Rahman this time round wants to be really careful. He doesn't want to get trolled, he doesn't want to get criticized, and more importantly for him, he doesn't want his fans walking out of his concert disappointed. I think that's what hurt him most last time, that his fans, didn't like what he was playing or what he was singing, and they were disappointed and upset and they left the concert. And I think this time round he doesn't want that happening. He wants to make sure that all those who bought tickets and came really enjoyed themselves. So he divided it clearly into two, into a Hindi concert and into a Tamil film songs or other songs he's composed. He just wants to make sure that his entire audience is happy at the end of the night.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, from that, as some of those Wembley walkouts, as I choose to call them, actually tweeted, and I'll just read out one of those tweets on 9th of July, a day after that concert. One of the tweets, in fact, said that I came across a lot of disgruntled audience as I left the show, and I never imagined I would see a day where audiences would walk out of an A.R. Rahman concert, saying what Lata was in fact, echoing the sentiment. The fact is, A.R. Rahman wants, of course, to ensure that his fans come and enjoy the concert, and nobody should actually be walking out on any of these protests, no matter how unfortunate it is. Murtaza Ali, come in on that.
See, while we all like to believe that music happens to divide boundaries, is beyond language, but I feel that it's a very good decision from the commerce point of view. At the end of the day, Rahman today has a pan-India following, and obviously there are people who would want to only want to listen to his Hindi songs, and there would be people who would want to his certain regional songs. So I think it's a very good decision. Just imagine a movie like Bahubali. When it becomes so big that it has a pan-India following, they decided to have it in different languages. So I feel that it makes a lot of sense.
Mr. Kaul, come in on this, the decision that has been taken in by A.R. Rahman.
From my point of view, I think the reaction of the audiences was totally uncalled for. Rahman is now an international citizen. He is an Indian citizen. He is also a regional citizen. And therefore, he must be accepted in the totality of his personality. If the audience is walking just because he included a Tamil song or a set of Tamil songs in his programming, I think they should also in future accept songs from the Malayalam films, songs from even other languages, Kannada also, and of course from the English cinema also. And therefore, he must be given his space in the culture which is today emerging, the global culture that is emerging, and the fact that there are not many Indians who can fill that slot.
Absolutely.
I think it's a disgraceful display
Absolutely.
of parochialism, and I want to
I agree with
advise
you.
my Indian colleagues, wherever they are seeing this program, kindly accept Rahman as he is and give him the space to represent the kind of diversity that India has, and the unity that it also promises.
Yes.
And
Mr. Kaul, hold your thoughts. Mr. Kaul, hold your thoughts. I'll come back to you. Lata, that is exactly what we are debating here. You know, the parochial linguistic identities that seems to be, how should I say, overarching when it comes to our decision making. And, you know, the fact of the matter is, regionalizing someone who is paramount to Indian music scene just reeks of ignorance, doesn't it, Lata?
Ignorance, but more importantly, I think it's intolerance, because Rahman is a world citizen, as he correctly pointed out, and he's done music across different languages. He's not just done Tamil songs or Hindi songs. So when you have a musician of that stature performing, you would obviously expect him to perform, you know, across all languages, not just Hindi or not just Tamil. And I think the audience was highly intolerant of, you know, of this and of his music, and they showed him a lot of disrespect to what he stands as a musician, because any musician in India today, right, crosses boundaries in terms of languages. That's what they aim to do.
Right.
And if you say music has no language, then what
I
is
was
going
going to
on?
come to that. Whatever happened to the power of music, the power of art to unite all of us? And before I come to that, I want to ask you, you know, this is a question I'll throw open to all the panelists. How hypocritical it is of us that when Rahman composes music for any international project, English or any other language, we are all okay with it. But when it comes to any regional languages, then, you know, we have these linguistic identities that suddenly crop up and divide us. Lata.
Yes, exactly. language it's our mother tongue. We come from different states and therefore we speak different languages. But why, does language have to identify us as who we are as individuals? Because at the end of the day, we're all Indians. We watch all kinds of Indian films with subtitles. We listen to all kinds of music. So when that is the case, why single out somebody like Rahman for the fact that he was, playing Tamil songs and not doing as much Hindi music as one would expect? And I think this is happening more and more in recent times. It wasn't seen as often earlier, but today I think intolerance is increasingly growing towards languages and, respect for one another in terms of language or otherwise, or even religion for that matter.
Right. In fact, let me just tell our viewers, the numbers are in fact flashing on our screens right now. Call us, tell us what you think about how Rahman has muted the trolls, and is it time for trolls to rise up for One India? That's the question we are asking on Speak Out India today. In fact, we've got Pradeep who's joining us from Bengaluru on this. Go ahead, Pradeep. Sandeep from Bengaluru. My apologies.
Yeah, as a Bangalorean, Gautam Kolji, it's Kannada, not Kannad. I would also like to tell you that Rahmanji is going there with a commercial interest, and he's trying to make money out of the people who are coming to watch his show. Eventually, if they are not happy, he has to clear it up for them, and he has to actually give the crowd what they want to listen to. That was my point. Yeah, that's
all right,
it.
All right, Pradeep. Let's give Mr. Kaul a chance to reply.
Want me to suggest?
Yes, Mr. Kaul. I think it was addressed to you. Go ahead.
You see, I am of the view now that those who are abusing Rahman are actually the losers. Because if they want to walk out on Rahman, the world is not walking out of Rahman also. Rahman will continue to represent himself as an international personality. If India also rejects Rahman, the world will still embrace him. And you can't pull this man down. He is so talented. He is talented not only, let me say, in Tamil culture and the culture of the other regional areas,
right,
but also in the whole Indian culture.
Let's give Murtaza a chance to reply as well.
Those who want to abuse him, they are actually spitting on the sun. This kind of a thing should never be there.
As someone who has been following him for a very long time, I was really distressed by how he was trolled and how the people walked out on him. But I think he has reacted to it really well. I just loved the way he, in a very humorous way, said and encouraged his Hindi fans to attend his Tamil concert and his Tamil fans to attend the Hindi concert. That's Rahman for you. That's the best way he could have answered his critics, and he has.
Lata, he's shut his trolls, hasn't he?
Yes, absolutely. And Rahman is somebody who knows his audience really well. He has a lot of respect for the audience, for the fans.
But respond to what one of the callers said, that it's just commercials at stake, nothing more, nothing less.
I completely disagree with, because I don't think it's all about money at the end of the day for somebody like Rahman. He's achieved such worldwide stature today that it's not commercials anymore. Today it's about reaching out to his fans, and people who go to the concert are dying to watch him perform live, and they are willing to pay any amounts of money to watch him perform live. So it doesn't really come down to commercials for him at all, because he's a very simple, humble person at the end of the day, and he just wants to give his fans good music and make sure that they enjoy it. So it's definitely not about money.
Murtaza Ali, whatever happened to the power of music, the power of art to unite all of us? Italian opera will always be in Italian. We have to learn to appreciate it in Italian. They will not start an opera for any other foreign languages. That's the beauty of art. You have to learn to appreciate it, and that's the power for it to unite all of us.
See, I absolutely agree. Music anyway is supposed to break barriers, but sometimes it happens that fans are very enthusiastic, and when they go to a particular concert, they want certain songs to be heard, and when their demands are not met, they can react in all sorts of ways. So that, I feel, was one of those moments when the fans took it in the wrong spirit.
Lata, in fact, the other thing I wanted to ask you, the fact is, it of course is a befitting reply. to all, those Wembley walkouts, but does it also set a precedent going forward? Because does it always mean that going forward, A.R. Rahman would play it so safe that, and he would assume always that the audiences are mutually exclusive? I'm sure you would like to listen, being a Tamilian, you would also like to appreciate Hindi songs. I don't understand Tamil, I cannot understand the language, but that wouldn't stop me from listening to music by A.R. Rahman in Tamil.
I think, it's the first thing, for the first time ever that he's done something like this. But then there are certain things that one needs to understand. In Canada, for instance, there's a very large Tamil-speaking population. So it could also be the fact that because there's a large Tamil-speaking population, he might have wanted to do a concert exclusively for them. I don't think the same would happen in another country where there are not as many Tamil-speaking people living there. So it could be due to that fact as well. But having said that, I think this time he does want to be cautious. He doesn't want to hurt anybody's sentiments. And at the end of the day, he doesn't want the Tamil-speaking people to retaliate and say, oh my God, you're playing Hindi songs now and instead of Tamil songs. So he doesn't want the reverse happening as well.
Which is equally unfortunate if you ask me. It is unfortunate on both sides. Let's quickly take in some callers from Chennai. We've got two callers. Parampil from Chennai. Reduce the volume of TV, please.
Reduce me. I have reduced.
Go ahead, sir. Make your point.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate Rahman's music, and we are all Tamilians in Chennai. The only issue with here is I watched a show some days back with some channel who was interviewing Lata Mangeshkar. Now she's the icon of real music, and she said that digital music has ruined the real quality of music. So I think Rahman plays a lot of things on his computer or his digital keyboard that takes away all the things, of an original artist.
How is that relevant here? How is that relevant? I'm sorry, that's not relevant in this discussion. That's a separate discussion about the kind of music that A.R. Rahman makes. Has no relevance to this case. Thanks so much for calling. We've got another caller from Chennai. Malik joining us on this debate. Go ahead, make your point, very briefly.
Yeah, Malik from Chennai. I'm a great fan of A.R. Rahman. See, whatever happened to A.R. Rahman, it's an insult to India actually. How can one section of people, you can ignore them? It's a music after all. You cannot go for a language, you cannot, segregate yourself into language. So it's totally, he's a music at present for India. He's a music, he's a God music. So it's insult to India.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Malik. Thanks so much for calling. On that note, we're slipping into a very, very short breather. We come back to take this story forward, to take this discussion forward as to is it hypocritical on part of Indians to be praising A.R. Rahman when he makes music for international projects in international languages, but when it comes to different Indian languages, we raise a red flag. That discussion after this very, very short breather. Welcome back. You're watching Speak Out India with me, Gauri Dwivedi. Let's quickly go across to some of our callers who've been waiting patiently. We've got Nikhil from Bengaluru, and then we'll go across to Rakesh from Ambala. Nikhil.
Yes, hello, madam. I would like to convey in this platform that as a fan, actually, I've been following Rahman sir for like nearly 15 years now.
Like all of us, yes.
Yes. I want to put note on this that India has actually no language barriers. In a country like India, which is deemed secular, people are actually hypocrite. He's a person who bought us, in fact, Grammys, BAFTAs, and 2 Academy Awards, which is widely accepted throughout the global field. But why can't people go in protest against him when he flees to another industry, say, for example, Hollywood? He goes there and he produces music.
Exactly. So that's the question that I asked as well. It's hypocritical of us that it's okay when he makes or he's part of international projects in international languages, but it's not okay. We raise a red flag when it comes to our petty parochial linguistic identities. Thanks so much for calling, Nikhil. Let's quickly go across to Rakesh from Ambala.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. You have a point to make.
I surely believe Rahman must have indicated something. And the indication is very much clear. And What he's thinking about it, I don't know. But I felt that he's indicating something. 101% he has.
Okay, Lata, respond to that. He has thought this through. He's very clear as to why he's doing this, and maybe this could really be his plan of action going forward for all future concerts.
Well, it could be, given the backlash he received for the concert in London. It could be that he sees this as the best solution to prevent any such kind of, trolling or any despair or anger, coming from the fans. Because at the end of the day, as a musician, as somebody who works in films, he also realizes that the fans need to support him. He needs the support of the fans. He needs the love of the fans. And if they get angry or are upset, then obviously it's going to affect him professionally and personally as well. And he wouldn't want that in any form or manner. So this could be the way forward that he thinks is best, where if the people who speak Hindi and who love Hindi music want a separate concert, and if the Tamil-speaking people want a separate concert, then maybe that's the best way to please, different language-speaking audience and keep everybody happy and ensure that, of course, that he continues to make great music for different kinds of audiences.
Just read out those two tweets. Again, that came out after, those Wembley walkouts made so much of a ruckus. Two tweets is what I'll read out. One, which said, A.R. Rahman seems like he has forgotten Hindi music, which has brought him international fame. That's tweet number one. Second tweet was total disaster for someone who made his name in Bollywood, at least on sheer numbers. It was disrespectful from him, even speaking Tamil. So that was the extent of backlash that A.R. Rahman faced, that Lata was also talking about. For the record, he played 28 songs. The playlist, in fact, was released by Rahman and, the company later. Out of those 28 songs, 12 were Tamil, 16 were Hindi. The concert of, pardoning my language, I will not be able to pronounce it, but what it meant was Tamil for yesterday, today and tomorrow. So it was a Tamil concert. Everybody knew what they were signing up for, but this was the kind of backlash he received, which is the reason why, of course, he has decided to take this as a permanent route going forward. We've got another caller from Chennai as we wrap things up on this edition. Another caller from Chennai. Ravi, if we can just go to him. Can you hear me, Ravi?
Yeah, I can.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I fully agree with the views of the panelists, and I think the unity of views expressed by your panelists, including you, itself is a testimony to Rahman's caliber, and I think the audience should go up and learn to listen to the
variety
he offers,
Ravi,
rather than...
Thanks so much for calling. I'm sorry we're running out of time. I want the producer to quickly, as we wrap this discussion, I want the producer to play that bite of A.R. Rahman as he asks and encourages these two, what many perceive to be mutually exclusive audiences, to come and mingle and see his music. That bite as we end this edition.
I'm sure the Tamil show is for Hindi people and the Hindi show is for Tamil people. I'm just joking. It's all about the music.
Well, that was a lesson for all of us as we should learn to appreciate the music that A.R. Rahman is making, learn to appreciate the power of music to bind us all and not to get driven down or bogged down by our petty little linguistic identities. Remains to be seen when A.R. Rahman will sing Tamil and Hindi songs. Up for now, of course, it will be separate concerts in Toronto end of this month. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Speak Out India with me, Gauri Dwivedi. Thanks so much for watching.